Hey y'all, let's make a delicious pasta dish. It goes in the oven. It's super easy and so good and full of flavor. Looky here. So this is what we're gonna do. Let me show you. Now this is something I make different a lot of times. I was cleaning out my veggie drawer in my fridge, and this is what I decided to make. So I had some of the little cherry or grape tomatoes. I had almost a full container, and I just sliced those in half. I had some red onion and a few bell peppers left that I needed to use, as you see here. All right, so we're going to pop that in our little casserole dish here. Hold on, I'll move this closer. Okay. Now we're cooking with Crisco. Let's see. All right, and I'm just going to toss these around a little bit, just like that. Now, I would love to have some spinach. I would love to have a bed of spinach in here, but I don't have any. So, and then this is some sun-dried tomatoes. We'll put those in. Let's see here. These, they come packed in olive oil. That's what that is. This is what they are. If y'all have not seen me show before, sun-dried tomatoes. You can get these in the section with your other tomatoes. They're really good. They keep for a long time in the fridge. And usually you only use a few of them. So if you've never tried them, I want you to try them. They are packed full of flavor. Okay, we have that in there, and I'm going to take just a little bit of my fresh basil and tear it and put it in here. Not much. We're going to add more after it gets done. So just a few pieces. Okay, we're going to take some oregano. Well, wait a minute. Let's go ahead and add our cheese in. So I have half a box of that Boursin cheese, that I used the other day to make our little cheese mixture for our lasagna soup. We're going to use the rest of that. Now you can use feta. I think I've done a video on here before where I used the feta cheese, but this is my favorite way to do it right here, is with the Boursin. Okay, so we're going to pop that right in the middle. This was kind of a viral thing there for a while, but now I make it I do it different. I do it different each time. And that's what you do. You just put your own little twist on it, however you want to make it, and that's what you do. Now, so you just pop that in the middle there. You don't mix it in. I shouldn't have done that. I should have just left it as it was. Goodness gracious. All right. So we've got that in there. And then now we're going to, first I'm going to get this off my hand. We're going to add just a few spices. I have some crushed red pepper that I'm going to put in, just a few. I'm going to do a little sprinkle of oregano. I'm sorry. Just a little sprinkle. A little sprinkle of thyme. And this is the thyme leaves and the oregano leaves. Y'all know sometimes I use ground. I use the leaves for this. Now, of course, fresh would be better if you had any. I don't usually keep those on hand. I just buy them as needed. Okay, a bit of thyme. Got that. I've got my water over here, and it has something, on my pan. We're going to do just a smidge of salt, not much, just a little bit. And then I want to do some fresh black pepper. Okay. And then we're going to drizzle it really good with some olive oil. I hadn't filled my little container back up over here, so we're going to have to pour it out of here. Just drizzle some over. Just kind of give it a little mix. Yeah, that'd be good. And what we're going to do, y'all, we are going to pop this in the oven. I'm not going to cover it or anything. And we're going to cook it, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes. I've not made this in so long. You just kind of keep an eye on it. I'll let y'all know how long I cook it. But look at this. It looks delicious already, doesn't it? All right, y'all. I'm going to pop this in there. And what I'm going to do over here, I have some water coming up to a boil. I am going to cook some pasta. Now you can serve this with any kind of pasta you want. I've used bow tie, rigatoni's really good. Y'all know I love rigatoni. Tonight I'm just using the thin spaghetti. But I love the little fettuccine nest. Those go really well with it. Just seriously, anything you want. Anyway, pop this in the oven, 400, and I'll be back. Okay, wait just a minute. We forgot one of the most important things. One second. Oh me. Y'all know what it was? Garlic. Oh my word. I went to clean up and I thought, oh my gosh, there's my garlic. Okay, so back up. Okay, it's not even hot yet. I've got about 4 cloves of garlic here that I have just sliced up. You can make it smaller if you don't like it chunky. Just, that's optional. And a little parsley, we'll go ahead and throw some of that in there too. But we're going to mostly use that for our garnish. But we can go ahead and put some in. Now, let's give it another little toss. Take 2 on this. Oh, man. All right, now, I think we're ready to go in the oven. Our water is coming up to a boil. I'm going to add in our pasta. Now, don't break it unless you just want to. Okay, I know, your kitchen, your rules. But I choose not to break mine. Let's see. And I'm not going to add this whole box. And make sure you have some good salted water, which I've already done. And that's the only thing I add to this. Y'all know sometimes I season it up, but I just do some salt for this part. Okay. That's maybe about 3/4 of the box. I'd rather have too much than not enough. Y'all know me and my pasta. Okay. And yes, I will use this. People always, or not a lot. I have several that will ask, why do you keep little small amounts of this or that? Well, I use it. I will just toss it in something, or if I need more, I buy another box and I'll use the rest of that to go with it. You know, I use it. I really do. Y'all, I'm just going to let this boil. Now, like I said, this is the thin spaghetti, so it's not going to take it long. And y'all know I always tell you, I'll tell you again, don't overcook your pasta. And save, you definitely need to save some of your pasta water for this to go in our dish, okay? Look at our dish. I just got it out. I cooked it 25 minutes on 400. You want to cook it once it starts kind of getting a little dark right there on your cheese, then you go ahead and get it out, okay? So about 25 minutes I did. Let's give this a toss. And now when I tell you this is smelling good, you can imagine how good a combination like this smells. Let's see here. Oh my gosh, it smells fantastic. Alright, well, like I said, your pasta water is very important for this. Y'all know I use it a lot, but this is one thing you really want to use it for. So I have 2 cups here. I know I'm not going to need nowhere near this much. I just filled this cup up whenever I drain the pasta. That's why you want to go light on your salt, because remember I salted the pasta water. Okay, let's get our pasta and put this thing together. I drained it, and y'all know I always hit it with cold water to stop it from cooking, and then I drizzled just a tiny bit of olive oil, and then I seasoned it with a little bit of garlic salt. Now I know, you know, there are sayings that if you put the oil on it or whatever, then your stuff won't stick to it. Now I've never had a bad experience with that. I think it's just all about a rule of thumb with different people. You know, mine is to always hit it with cold water. It stops it from cooking. And I do that with all of my pasta pretty much. Unless I'm going to be putting it right in the dish. Then I may not. But even then, I like to. It just, even with like macaroni and cheese, if you hit it with that cold water and then you want to put it in your cheese sauce and let it sit on the stovetop for a little bit, it won't keep on cooking once you stop that cooking process. I don't know. I don't really know how to explain it. But anyway, look at this. Let's go ahead and throw in our fresh herbs real quick. Let's see here. So I'm just going, well, let me get me a knife. I'm just gently cut it a little bit of basil. And y'all know how I feel. If you don't have fresh, you could, when you cook it, I wouldn't do it afterwards. When you go to cook it, you can maybe sprinkle on a little bit of dry basil, but goodness, be careful. Alright, some parsley. Let's see, a little bit more. I wish this wasn't so hot. And we're just going to toss it around. Those, like I said, spinach would be great in this. Probably even like some kale would be good. Let me give it a little taste test here and see about our flavors. And I'm not going to serve this with anything tonight. I'm just going to have this. Like, it's a delicious vegetarian dish. However, now whenever I would cook this for me and Braden, I would usually make us some grilled chicken or something like that. But I'm not going to do that tonight. Alright, let me see. Let's give just a tiny little taste here just to make sure our seasonings and everything are okay. Well, I will be. Of course, it's not going to work out. It does need a little bit more salt. I'm just going to sprinkle some on. Okay. And then, of course, we'll do parm. Let me go ahead. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Let me grab it. Let's see. Where is it at? Well, what did I do with it? Hang on a second. Goodness gracious. Hang on. Okay, y'all. I was looking in the fridge for this, and I forgot that I had given my other one to Braden the other day. He came over and got him and Colin some of that lasagna soup. And I just gave him the rest of that I had in the fridge and forgot that I had this one in the cabinet. But I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit of this, and I'm going to use my fresh too. So just a little. Okay, right there. Let's see. No, I can't pick it up. I want to pick it up and show it to y'all. Look here. Does that look good? Alright, let me get my plate and everything situated here. I'm going to get my fresh parm out. And if y'all will remember, the other day when I made the lasagna soup, do y'all remember that cheese mixture that I garnished it with? You know, it was some of the Boursin cheese, some parm, some mozzarella, some seasons. I'm going to crumble some of that over the top of it. That was another reason why I wanted to make this. I thought, okay, I need to clean up my veggie drawer, and I have this little cheese mixture that I do not want to go to waste, so it is going to go perfect with this right here. Okay. Let's serve this up. Y'all know I'm kind of all over the place tonight. I just, some days I'm just like that. And I decided to get my big bowl, so I felt like y'all would be able to see it better, or that's what I'm telling myself. Maybe it's just because I knew I wanted a lot of it. Who knows? I'm going to say that it's for presentation, okay? I'm going to use that excuse anyway. Let me wipe that off. Make it pretty. And I saved out a little piece of the pretty basil over here to place on top. you know, like that right there. See that? All right, now let's get our, that's still hot, crazy hot. And of course I'm gonna do a little bit of well, y'all can't see. I'll tell you what, this kitchen is something else. I can't hardly do nothing in here. Now, I just did a little bit of parsley, and then I will do another little pinch or two of this. Okay, and then I've got my corn here. I have just a little bit. I have 2 little pieces here that I've had in the freezer. Let's see. Let me look at this one. Yeah, so there we go. See, you just freeze it, and it just keeps like this. I'm gonna try my big little grater. Usually I use my smaller one. I'm gonna try this one. There we go. That's perfect. It does kind of want to go everywhere, but it's all right. Belle will like it, the ones that go, the little pieces that fall down here. Okay, we got that on there, and then, like I said, I have these little crumbles, or it's kind of crumbly now after it's been sitting in the fridge. You know, that little mixture that I had? Look at it. Oh my gosh, it's so good. It kind of looks like feta crumbles or blue cheese crumbles, you know, but it is so good. Braden and Colin love the soup. She said, I had told Braden when he come to get it, he come and got it. She wasn't feeling good. She had worked pretty much a double shift in healthcare, and y'all know how that is. And she had a bad headache, and so he come and got it, and I told him how to fix it. I said, you heat the soup up, and then you garnish it with some of this, and you don't want to heat that part up. And I said, then you just kind of stick your bread down. I fixed them some fresh bread to go with it, and she sent me a picture. She said, he's in here fixing it just like you told him to. And I said, well, did y'all like it? And she said, we sat down and was eating, and she said, neither one of us said a word. We was just eating. So that was good. But look at this. Look at this little masterpiece, y'all. Does that not look good? I may have been all over the place in here and scattered and everything else getting it together, but hey, I got it together. That looks so pretty. I love it. I'm trying to think, is there something I'm forgetting that I need to put on here? I think we've got enough. And y'all, I let it sit for just a minute. You know, like I've kind of been, it's been sitting now while I've been doing all this, and let those flavors really all soak in, and it's just so good. This is dangerous. I could eat this whole pan, y'all. This is seriously so good. It's light, you know. It's not, you know, it's just different. It's not real saucy. You know what I mean? Perfect little dish. I'll tell you what. If you love pasta, you'll love this. And those little crumbles on there, which of course, if I didn't have that already made up, I wouldn't have that, but it's really good. Also, I forgot to tell you this part. If I'd had the whole package of the Boursin cheese, I probably would have just put the whole thing in there. You know, I did half. So you can make it work either way. If you want to do half of it and make you up these little crumbles to go on top, that's a good idea. Or maybe 3/4 of it in the dish. Save out some of the Boursin, mix it up like I did with the parm. What else did we put in there? Sour cream, cream cheese, mozzarella. I don't know. No wonder it's so good. All that stuff in there. That little bit of sweetness from the tomatoes and onion, the garlic, the cheese. This is so good, y'all. I want you to try it. Those sun-dried tomatoes. Now, of course, the sun-dried tomatoes are optional too. But they're really, really good in it. If you've never tried them, I want you to try them. You know, I ask y'all that every time I use them. Or you may have already tried them. Let me know if you have. Fantastic. I recommend this all day long. All right, y'all. I've kept y'all way too long for this little simple recipe. But anyway, y'all know I just like to talk with you and just do this is what I'd be doing if I didn't have this camera on. Except I'd just be talking to myself. Anyway, y'all have a good night. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.